Hey y'all, today we have a special video here. Uh, this is the finale. This is part 3. This is the 2004 Dutch Vander Gold Leader from the SAGA collection. And I believe, yes, this was the first wave of it. Back in 2002, and this was towards the end. This was, I believe, 2004 here. Yeah, 2003, 2004. And we wanted to do comparison next to a classic X-Wing pilot. And here's that X-Wing pilot. The Luke X-Wing pilot from 1978. Turned 40 years old this year, so happy big birthday and anniversary to an iconic figure. So, looking at the both of them, notable differences. There are a lot. Let's start with the flight outfit. And I don't mean the breathing gear. I just mean the orange flight suit. The flight suit here, this orange is a little bit darker. This one's a little bit more of a lighter orange. A little bit more movie accurate. But this is what you got in 1978. This is what you get in 2003 or 4. You know, it's a little bit more movie accurate. Technology has gotten better with the figures and, you know, movie detail and accuracy. So the wrinkles on here just seem very simple. It just seemed like someone took like a hobby knife, you know, in the original mold and just made strings. Here they really sculpted in. I mean, this is serious sculpting work, and we'll see all over. Whoops, don't worry, it's not gonna get any paint wear because it's resting on this white paper here, and there's a pad underneath here. Luke here, let's see. I'll try to be careful with him. Yeah, very simple. Yep, very, very, very simple. So, between the both of them, you know, just very obvious differences. And I think at the time this came out, this is 23 years apart. Let me figure this out quickly, guys. Just trying to be quick with this since we're being timed here. 2000, I think this did come out in 2003. No, 4. Wow. That's right. 1978. So 26 years apart at the time. So, you know, this is what you get. And, you know, Star Wars in 2004 was, you know, self-established by this point, even in previous years. But, you know, this is what you get. The next thing I'd want to talk about here is just the flight suit, you know, the breathing apparatus. So this is more screen accurate. You know, it's gray. They really went into detail here. The undershirt over the flight suit is more of a cream color. Here it's just white. And the buttons are painted very simply. Some of it is not even painted. So, you know, but this was a big deal in 1978. No one had seen toys like this before. And obviously 2000, you know, 4 over here, you know, Star Wars had been around for a while by this point. And you see everything's painted on this flight suit. You know, there is molding, but, you know, just black gloss paint, white paint for the hip cuffs or whatever you want to call them. And here, this is actual plastic. So yeah. Yeah. What else can I tell you? This Luke's flight boots seem a little bit shorter here. They're much higher. The missiles are on the right here. Here they are on the left. Maybe that is for all the other pilots except Luke. I'm not sure. But you could look that up. Let's see what else. Oh, this is very interesting. Wow, I didn't even notice this. This is very interesting. Wow, I'm surprised they didn't do this in 1978. But Luke has no flight gloves. And he has flight gloves. They could have just painted the hands black, but they didn't. I wonder why. Interesting. Let's see what else. Articulation. So, you've got here, let's see. Oops, sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, sorry, I'm moving the iPad. So you have 7 points of articulation on this figure. And you've got just a simple 5 here. This helmet's removable. This is not. It's molded on. There's a lot more detail on the helmet here compared to the 1978. What else? Oh, the gun for Dutch is, I believe, the correct blaster for X-Wing pilots. Here it was just Luke's standard, pistol. Blaster pistol. I don't know the model of it. I think they call it a DL44 blaster. But I'm not. I don't know. I'm not. I'm not a weapons expert on Star Wars. I just know what come with these figures. What else here? Yeah, so the 2004, when this figure came out, came with a stand here. And I'll just say 2003, 2004. I'm just saying 4 because I think this is when it came out. But I'll just be safe. I'll just say 2003 or 4. Same period. Boots are painted the same. Foot pegs have obviously changed on vintage figures and modern figures. So just remember that if you want to put them on stands. What else is going on here? Let's flip them over because we haven't done that yet. So, we flipped them over. Obviously, just very simple, flight suit wrinkles. The part of the breathing apparatus is just painted black. What else is going on here? Everything's just simple on this 1978 version, and it's more detailed on the 2003 for, X-Wing pilot. One interesting thing is, this was always on Luke. He did have red stripe, but the emblems are very accurate for 1978, as you could see. And it's interesting. They didn't even add a chin strap. And here, there's no Rebel Alliance emblems. There's other emblems that are on here. Let's see. And there's a chin strap. So, that's pretty much it. 26 years apart. Now we're jumping 15 years later, this is almost 15 years old, which is crazy. This is 40. So, I've really liked how the X-Wing pilots have come between both of these time periods and now. You know, I couldn't miss out on this. This was an important character. The only downfall in it, can't fit in a sorry, Y-Wing all the way, which is not a big deal because it looks awesome on the stand. And I showed you just in the last video. This is cool. This saves me from buying Protect stands. This is a classic vintage figure. You know, you gotta have it. You know, if you're a serious fan, serious collector, and make sure the weapon is original too. I mean, you know, this is the original stuff, and this is the modern stuff. So, you know, I mean, they're both great. I'd say pick both of them up. This Luke, you don't have to get the vintage one. There are hundreds of Luke X-Wing pilots. The only reason I'm showing it to you because from 1978 to 85, they didn't have the other X-Wing pilots. You had to use your Luke for everything. So trying to find a Luke in good condition is quite difficult. You'll find his weapon, but the paint is usually scuffed off. As you can see, some of the paint on here is starting to oxidize from age. This apparently came from a collection off the card. A collector had opened this up off the card. I got this about 6-7 years ago, and I guess he had taken it off the card and it already had some wear on it and everything from moving around in the card all those years. So and back then they didn't have a figure resting a tray on the card. They just glued a bubble over the figure and it would just move around on the card back. So you could also see on the back of this figure there was some blue speckles. That was just from the ink on the card. So that is common if you see it on mint figures. Here, this was in a bubble tray and then, you know, glued onto a card back. So you won't get that. Maybe an overspray of paint, but that's about it. But anyways, both great figures here. Like I said, I got a deal on this. I paid like $10 for him. He goes for $17 to $20 on eBay, and then you factor in shipping. Him, on the other hand, $40, $50. I'm trying to remember what I paid on him. I know I got a deal on him. I got I think for him like $40, and it came with the original weapon, and I couldn't pass it up. So, but yeah, if you see any of these in the condition that they are, especially this one, I'd pick them up. This, if you find one on the card, I would pick it up. They're both great figures. And yeah, that's all I gotta say here. Thank you for watching. This is the finale. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Thank you.